These are, on the left, are my school magazine, and I created those as a preliminary task and get to know the Photoshop and that kind of thing. And to the right here are my actual music magazines and what I made for my coursework. As you can tell, there's quite a big difference between them, as I've learnt a lot through the process. For example, in my contents on my double page spread, on my front cover, that's it, I haven't really used any use of layers to build up like I have on here as the posters, like they are layered on top of each other. Where on here they just seem to be just put there and left there, like they're not overlapping or anything, which would add an effect to it. Or also just like kept to two colours, which looks a bit boring, and just put a load of pictures on there, which isn't very good. But to this one I've had a bit more of a house style, so I've learnt that to have more colours will make it more interesting and make my audience want to go for it a bit more. And so I've gone for the baby pink, the bright blue, the yellow just adds a bit more into it, white and black, and that makes it look a lot better than just two standard colours. For my contents page, I've also put things into boxes whereas before I just put them in a text box and there's no like graphic for it. Whereas in my contents page, I've tend to have put like pictures like this one here into a box, which will make it stand out. And I've also added a drop shadow to the editor's box as well, which it makes it a lot better and people want to actually look at it. So by adding like graphics and like boxes and outline of shapes or something like that, it makes it look a lot better. I've also learnt that like use of different fonts can really involve the reader, as like most of the fonts on my school one are the same, like all of these are the same, and that they're very similar fonts and the same colours and stuff like that. And where these, there's not much text on there anyway, but what there is, they're very similar texts. Whereas I've managed to use lots of different texts, like as in for like front, the title, on the strapline at the top, just on like writing around, and I've used like a range of fonts like I have for my contents page. The use of language I've used is a lot more appropriate, even though they are two from completely different reasons, but I haven't actually got much text on there, so it's very hard to compare, but it's just very plain onto my school magazine. Whereas on my contents page of my music magazine, I have things such as Hey Guys, which is very uninformal, and so that's going to be that's good for my magazine, as my magazine's audience is for like teenage girls, so that can make them feel a bit more relaxed and don't feel like they're reading a magazine or like a newspaper like The Guardian or something, so that's what will attract them. I've also cropped a lot of my pictures, so I don't have much space like above their heads, such as there and like there, which will make it a lot more effective, because if you have a massive plain space above their head, it won't look as effective. But like above there, that's a bit of just empty space up there, so if you cut that, then maybe that might look a bit more interesting. Yeah, so I've really adapted my school magazines to actually look like a music magazine, even though they're completely different genres, but that's how I've managed to do it. Like I've added in like the graphics, I've added in like the ladder up here, and that would obviously attract my audience.